The more you can let go is the more you can receive. And this is such a paradox because for a long time I would resist what I actually wanted. I would try, I would set intentions, I'd put things and realize I'd put them on a pedestal without even knowing it. And I'd create all this resistance and I would literally block abundance, success, things from really taking off because of this energy. And it's funny because even as over these last 3 to 5 years, as I've become more successful, the thing that I've noticed is actually the more I let go, the more I do receive. And it has to do with understanding letting go of the outcome, letting go of attachment to things happening a certain way, attachment to people, attachment to the outcome of abundance, whatever you want. In this video, I want to show you 3 secrets that have completely transformed my life around letting go, that have allowed me to create the life of my dreams easier than I could have even imagined it. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you the 3 biggest secrets that have completely transformed my life when it comes to letting go, and how paradoxically, the degree to which you let go is the degree to which you receive. Now this scale right here that you can see, you can see the levels of consciousness. I've shared it in many videos, but this has a little bit different interpretation of it. Now you'll see at the bottom we have shame, we have guilt, we have desire, pride, all the way up to courage. Well, pride is at the top. You'll notice that at the very bottom levels we have inaction, and up until about fear, and then desire, anger, and pride is hyperactivity. Now, when we are in these levels of consciousness and we are feeling these emotions, and you can just know if you're feeling fearful, if you're feeling fearful anxiety, then you know you're at the level of fear. If you're feeling angry at something someone did to you, then you're at the level of anger. And the part of this that's important to understand is that when we are at these different levels of consciousness, we then have a certain way we go about manifesting or creating our dream life. Now, at the very bottom levels, we're in inaction. Before I even got on YouTube, what I was doing was sitting around and I wasn't taking any action. I was feeling fearful of what other people thought. I was feeling kind of like sitting in the emotions of what I felt growing up, and I was like working through those emotions still, and I didn't really do much. But then I realized I really wanted it. And the funny thing is, in that level of hyperactivity that you see right there, when you really want something, you really lack something. You create resistance around it. And then you'll see above that, then you have happiness and productivity. That is the level of courage to acceptance. Reasoning is the intellect of the mind. This is a flow state that you get into. And when you're in this state, you are in a big flow state without stress. The bottom levels might have a little bit stress, but let me point your attention towards the top. Enlightenment, peace, joy, and love. This is synchronicity. This is allowing the universe to work with you. Now you'll notice that at the bottom levels, it's very dense energy, and you'll find that there's almost a belief in a lack of ego in a way. It's almost like the ego feels so disempowered that there's almost a lack of that structure. And then in the middle is where the ego starts to be built. The ego starts to realize, hey, I am confident, I have courage, I can do these things, and that's happiness and productivity. But then there sometimes is an over-identification with the ego, but then what you'll see is at the top, you let go of the ego again. And the goal and the key to letting go is understanding that attachment is what keeps us in lower vibrational emotions. And when we let go of attachment, that's the key to us raising our vibration. Now, if we want our reality to become more magical than ever before, it's simply about letting go. Letting go of reasoning. Letting go of reasoning means meaning. The meaning we gave to things of our past will keep us in maybe anger, guilt, shame, fear. When we let go of the meaning or change the meaning, we then become free. Now, one of the first things I want to share with you with this is understanding that towards the top, you'll see at the top, you'll see productivity, synchronicity, and extraordinary outcomes. That happens the more you can trust the universe, and you can literally just let go and release. There's a whole book that Dr. David Hawkins has. It is called Letting Go. I've been rereading it recently. It's an amazing book. And basically there's a letting go technique. And the technique is so simple. It's almost too simple. You're like, what's the technique? I don't get it. As the emotion comes up, as you feel, you allow those emotions and those energies to be there. You don't try to change it. You don't try to control it. You just feel it. And then you just let it go. How do you let it go? You just make the choice to let it go. Sometimes it's hard for us to make the choice to let something go because there's an insidious payoff that we're not even aware of. We may say, okay, well, I'll let go of the anger of what happened in my past, but what we don't realize is we actually get a sense of significance. It means that the things that happened in the past happened for a reason, and that it was wrong for it to happen, and we get a sense of significance that we're not aware that we get. And anytime we are attached to something and it's hard for us to let go, it's because we believe that the payoff to keeping and holding on to it is greater than what we will get if we let go. So the key to this is realizing that if we can just let go by making the choice, we then raise our frequency. Now for me, anytime I try to control things in my life, I'm trying to manifest for maybe the middle levels or the bottom levels, I'm like, this is how it has to happen. This person's gonna show up at this time, this thing's gonna happen over here. And as I have all these rules, I create all this resistance. And then it's almost like because that's inside of me, that resistance, it's then being reflected on the outside. But what I've realized how to do recently is how to let go more. How to let go. So when there's something I really want, first off, wanting means I lack it. If you want it, it means you don't have it. Instead of wanting, you set intentions and you know you're good either way. Also, a lot of times when we're attracted and we're attached to the outcome, we're attached to the outcome because we're afraid that we're not going to get that which we want, which means we don't believe in it. But if we're good either way, we know their opportunity will come. We're not hanging on the idea of this one thing happening. So the first secret that I have for you is the more you let go is the more you trust the universe. The more you let go of the reasoning, the intellect, the more you let go of those emotions, realizing that they served you to get where you are now, what you then begin to do is you can then begin to give things up to the universe. Trust and see what happens. I've had this happen where there was a house in Vegas, for example, that I was looking at back in January when I came back from my 3 months of travel. And there were only 6 houses on the market that were in the price range that I wanted. And I was like, I don't really like any of these houses. But I said, you know what? I went to see one house and then the owners were really anal. They wanted to meet me versus just having me come see the house. They wanted to meet me and ask me questions, and they were confused as to why I would want that kind of house when it's just me. And I was like, man, I feel like I'm being interviewed. I got to really explain myself to these people. And they were just super anal, and I could feel that resistance from them, and it unattracted me to it. But then I was trying to control, and I realized, wait, if I just give this up and allow the universe to bring something to me, that's even easier. So what I did is I let go. And guess what happened? The perfect house came 2 days later. And the letting go in my life, in every single moment when I realize I'm holding on, when I let go, it's like magic. It's like things just happen. So realize that the more you raise your vibration, the more synchronicity, the less your ego needs to do things. Your job is not to be attached to the outcome. Your job is to get into alignment. How do you get into alignment? Do what you're passionate about, follow your passion, and release resistance with a simple meditation practice. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Observing your thoughts every day, that's releasing resistance. That's been huge for me. I remember when I first got on YouTube, I would sit there and I knew that reality is simply a reflection of my inner reality. The outer reality is a reflection of my inner reality. The more I would check my stats on YouTube, my analytics, every hours, if you're a YouTuber, you know, this is something that people go through when they're growing a channel or something like that. Looking at the stats. I was looking at the stats, checking it every couple hours, and I realized that I was butchering up the vibration because I was putting out that, it's a little bit peak, it goes up, it goes down. And I was because I was paying attention to it and feeling this resistance on the inside, I knew that I was going into the manifestation of it. When things have really taken off on the YouTube channel, you want to know when that was? When I just completely let go. And I was focused more on having fun, on the passion, not on the results. Let go and allow the universe to do things for you. Realize that the universe can only bring things to you in the ways you will allow it to. And if you're not allowing it to because you're trying to control, then you're limiting the number of ways the universe could bring something into you. Say you want the universe to bring you love, but you're okay, this is how it's going to happen. I'm going to go to the yoga studio at exactly 3:55. There's a class at 4. I'm gonna stand in the back corner, I'm gonna wait, there's gonna be someone that comes in, I'm gonna talk to them, and it's gonna happen this way, and there's gonna be this lifelong connection that just happens from there. And you march to the yoga class, and it doesn't happen. Then you get to a state to where you're frustrated that it didn't happen, and then somebody comes up to you and says something, you just kind of blow them off because you're in that state, not realizing that that person could have been the person. You see? But what happens is we siphon off all these different levels. We're like, oh, it's gonna happen at a coffee shop or something like that. And that's what happens. You're like, oh, this one job that I want, I'm gonna go, it's gonna happen like this. And then somebody else calls you like a week later, offered you a job, but you're so focused on this other one that didn't happen that you're not even able to hear it. See, all outer reality is a reflection of the inner reality. And the degree to which you let go is the degree to which you can receive. That's the key. Now, the second thing, this has been huge for me. This has to do with wantingness and human relationship dynamics. Wantingness and human I just like to say it like that. Relationship dynamics. People feel and are responding to you based on the energy you put off. So for example, this is the thing though. If you want somebody else to compliment your shirt, and you get this shirt and you're wearing it and you're like, so many people are gonna compliment this shirt, and you're walking around all prideful, compliment on my shirt, what you're gonna find is because you want them to compliment on your shirt, they ain't gonna wanna do it. Do you wanna know why? Because they're gonna feel from you that you want something from them. Nobody wants to be manipulated or controlled. They're gonna intuitively, literally respond because you're attached to the outcome, and because you're attached to how they're responding to you, they're gonna feel subconsciously restricted. They're not gonna know this consciously. They're just gonna feel like, something's gonna feel just a tad bit off. But if you just completely let go, and you realize you filled up your own cup, you don't need them to compliment on your shirt, it's gonna be crazy, because everyone's going to do it. That's just how it works. So if you're in a relationship with someone and you want them to talk to you a certain way, that you want them to do something for you, and you have this expectation and you're attached to the outcome, they will subconsciously resist you because nobody wants to be controlled. It's an energetic dynamic thing. I can't even explain it, but this has been such a huge epiphany for me really recently that I wanted to share it in a video. What I've learned how to do is how to fill up my own cup, put the attention back on me. What do I want? I'm already whole and complete. I don't need anyone to act any other way. Nobody needs to compliment my shirt. But do you guys like this shirt? Just kidding. Nobody needs to. My cup is full. Now, ironically, because of that, people may say things. Comment below. I'm just kidding. But that's the idea. So if you wonder why, so many people ask me, and because early on YouTube, I made videos of on how to attract someone back and all that stuff. And the answer is to let go. You want to know why? Because when you're thinking about someone all the time, they can feel that energy. And what you're doing is they're literally just responding to you based on the energy you're putting onto them, and it's literally suffocating them energetically, even if you don't see them. The best thing you can do is to fill up your own cup. That's it. Just fill it up. Fill up your cup. And then realize that you don't need anything else to be happy. It's all within you, okay? The third thing is what I call the pillars. The vibrational pillars. It's so simple. Okay, you ready? It's like a triangle. Passion, okay, this is like the key to you raising your vibration. And if you have these pillars in place, you're gonna be able to let go easier than ever. Because this is all your responsibility is. Here we go. You guys ready for the triangle? At the top, passion/purpose. Really, this is also kind of like meaning. Passion and purpose. Are you doing what you're passionate about? If you're doing what you're passionate about, it's self-sustaining. It doesn't feel like hard work. You're enjoying it. You're enjoying the moment. Even if it takes a little bit longer process, it's all good. It's your passion. You don't know what that is? Set the intention, start reading books, start following it. See where it leads you. Doesn't need to be some overarching passion of your whole entire life. You figure it out as you go. Secondly, in the bottom corner, neutrality. This is where you learn how to observe your thoughts. Spend literally 5 minutes a day in the morning and at night observing your thoughts. I stare at a candle flame because it keeps my eyes on one spot. When my eyes don't wander, my mind don't wander. Even when I look into this camera, when I'm looking into the lens, I get into a flow state very easily because I'm focused on one spot. And I was like, hey guys, so here we go, new stimulation. My mind can't focus, but this gives me focus. So in the morning, I wake up, I stare at a candle flame, and what I do is I just simply observe my thoughts. I don't try to control them. They're just thoughts. Here's the biggest thing that makes a difference. When you can observe your thoughts and realize you are not your thoughts, that's where the power is. Is not in identifying with the thoughts. That's observation, because then you separate yourself from identity of those thoughts. Then you start to become free. You'll start to feel high all the time. And all you got to do is stare at a freaking candle flame and observe your thoughts for 5 or 10 minutes in the morning, 5 or 10 minutes at night. Then you won't be in reaction mode. You'll be able just to go and talk to other people, and if they say something that triggers you, you're right there able to observe it, realize it's not you. You don't have to internalize it. So neutrality is a way of letting go of resistance. And then the other pillar is understanding your environment. High vibe tribe. This pillar system right here is the key to me being in high vibration. It's passion, neutrality, tribe. High vibe tribe. Even if you don't have a high vibe tribe around you right now, there are online tribes. There's people commenting below that would be amazing people in your high vibe tribe. And not only that, but you can also tailor your environment. When I first went through a spiritual awakening, I read books from people that I wanted to be in my high vibe tribe. I read personal development books, spiritual books. Environment. Think of like your mental environment and your physical environment. The people you're around are osmosisly rubbing off on you. And sometimes it can be a little bit fearful, but if you let go of people that are bringing you down, you will make room for somebody else to come in. And if you guys haven't seen it yet as well, there is something called the 21-day Raise Your Vibration Challenge, which is something that will help you to raise your vibration to a whole new you, 21 days to a new high vibrational you. There's a high vibe tribe that you get lifetime access to. It's one of the most engaged communities that I've ever seen. And you can join below or go to, raiseyourvibrationchallenge.com. But you can also click the link below. You can check that out. So the more you let go is the more you allow the universe to bring things to you. Life is really about getting in alignment with the divine. There's a level at the bottom to where it's about becoming aware and building the ego structure and realizing our own power. And then the middle levels of consciousness, it's about really learning how far we can take that. And then it's about letting it go and letting the divine bring it to you. But how do you do that? You get in alignment. You do what you're passionate about. You literally begin to trust the universe. And if you're in fear, you're saying that you don't trust the universe. If you're in anxiety, you're saying you don't trust the universe. And you can trust the universe by making a choice, by slowly but surely giving it up and realizing, hey, I'm going to let go of this and see what happens. The letting go technique is so simple. Feel the emotion. Don't try to control it. If it keeps coming up, that's okay. It just means there's more to let go, and just make the choice to let it go. Just let it go. Just release. And then you're in a high vibe state and you're attracting things easier than ever, and it's going to completely be a game changer for you. But I used to work hard. I used to focus on all these things to be successful, and the more I've let go is the more I've allowed in. It's a crazy paradox, but it's a higher level way of going about it. And any of you can do it by just letting go. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like this video if you liked it. Share it to help other people understand how to raise their vibration. There's also a no BS guide to raising your vibration that came out recently that people have been really liking. I'm gonna put that below. You can watch that video for the no BS guide. Not about picking up crystals. It's not about, those things are cool, but this is something you can also share with friends and family, the no BS guide, because it doesn't make you look so weird. And people like that. They like to just be able to share something. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, much love, and namaste.